Hi y'all, it's Becky Raisler. I've got Becky's Junk Journals on YouTube, and I'm on Instagram as Becky's Journals. And what do you think? Should I change my YouTube to just Becky's Journals? They won't let me make my Instagram Becky's Junk Journals. That's a whole nother story. A sordid story involving hackers and what have you. But anyway, I'm no longer able to use that one, but today I'm going to show you all my favorite things. These are the things that are on my work table, and I have like a 6 foot by 3 foot work table that I have had for, oh gosh, let's see, I'm pushing 70, as my mother used to say. I'm pushing 70 this year. I'll be 70 years old. And I've had this work table probably since I was 30. It's 40 years, y'all. So I have been working on this same work table. I have been making arts and crafts on it most every day for 40 years. And I am going to show you the things I can't live without. This is my everyday junk journaling, art journaling supplies. These are the things that I use for paper crafting and just any kind of crafts. These are things I just can't live without. Now, there's lots of other stuff in my studio. I have a full-fledged, full-blown art studio that I have had for about 20 years now. I've got one of the rooms in my house, one spare bedroom in my little tiny house. But I have a full-blown art studio, and I used to be a professional artist where I painted all day, every day, and in pastel and in oil and in acrylic. And I framed and sold all my paintings in local art galleries. And well, all over the United States, really. Won all kinds of awards, been there, done that, sold lots of stuff. And today I don't sell things, but occasionally I have an overstock. I've made too much, a surplus of stuff that I've made, and I will offer things up really at a really great price just to move it on out of my house. I de-stash, but I don't sell for a living anymore. I'm retired. I have some retirement from my old job. I used to work full-time, and also I'm on Social Security, and I'm married to a nice man who still works, bless his heart, and we are getting by on what we have, so I don't buy a lot of stuff. But these are the things that I do keep on hand and that I like. So I'm going to go through every single thing that I have here. This is mostly geared towards making handmade books and journals, and junk journals in particular. But you could adapt any of these tools for your other paper crafts, card making, or whatever you like to do. So since I've got this all spread out everywhere, because I was taking a pretty picture for the front cover of the video, I'm just going to grab the first thing that's in front of me, and it is not something you have to have, but I'm glad that I bought this great big old behemoth. This thing is a what is this thing? Crop-A-Dile, C-R-O-P-A-D-I-L-E, Crop-A-Dile Big Bite. It is a hole puncher and a never can think of the word when I want it. These things. What are those things called? Never can remember it. Hey, I've got an excuse. I'm getting old now. But anyway, they're not rivets, but whatever they are. It does that. It has 2 sizes of holes that it punches. And you can get other smaller hole punchers and rivet setters But this thing right here lets you get way back. You can punch a hole like up to 6 inches deep. Like I could go 6 inches deep on that box if I wanted to. And that's the whole reason for having this big giant thing. And I have learned that I love it because my favorite way to make, let me show you one that's pretty. My favorite way to make, there's one. Nope, that's not one that like I'm looking for. Oh, I should get it together, Becky, get it together. My favorite way to make ties around my journals is to punch the hole, set a rivet, and then run a rivet through. But my absolute best favorite way is to punch 2 holes in the back of it like that and run the rivet through so it can be wrapped around and tied in the front. Isn't that wonderful? Now you're going to watch me tie a bow and see how bad it is. Yeah. Okay. This is one of the tools that needs to be on my pile. And this happens to be one that I made myself. And this is one of my ephemera holders. And this is the other one that I've made. This one is busting out, and this one I've still got some room to put some more in it. The only difference between these two is that on this one, I bought some of these plastic pockets that have adhesive on the back of them. You can get them on Amazon in all different kind of sizes. And I stuck down the plastic pockets. And the difference is that these pockets, the adhesive they use, that's stuck down forever, and once you get it down there, you're going to be cutting it off, or you're not going to be moving it. So these things hold up a lot better than cardstock over a long period of time. And this one right here is my first ephemera book, and I made this one with cardstock as my pockets. And it starts to come up. I glued it down. I don't have a sewing machine, but or I would have sewed it, but it tears. It wears. It doesn't wear as good as the plastic pockets. So, ephemera holder books are on my list of favorite things. My Crocodile Big Bite is on my favorite things. If you've been watching me at all, you know my favorite glues are art glitter glue, and I buy a big bottle and keep refilling this one. And the label is about cruded off of it, but I just keep refilling it because this stuff is it's not cheap, folks. It really isn't. But I have tried every glue in the world, and I've been making collages and gluing stuff for many, many years, and this is the best. It dries fast. And this little pinpoint top, you can apply it just where you need it, even in dots, if you just need it in little dots. This is the one I use for paper to paper. This Elmer's Extreme, XTREME, Elmer's Extreme glue stick with the wide dauber is the glue stick that I have found that works best for me. And Fabri-Tac. Not any other form of Fabri-Tac, or 3-in-1 glue works too, but Fabri-Tac is better. 3-in-1's a little bit cheaper. You might save $1 a bottle, but I also buy this in larger bottles and keep refilling the smaller one because I've got arthritis in my hands, and it's easier for me to hold a 4-ounce bottle than it is that big giant 8-ounce or larger bottle that I buy. I have lots of other glues in my studio, but I haven't used them in years. Not since I found that. Okay, here's something. They're selling them now at Dollar Tree. Run down there and get yourself one. This is a glue eraser. It is the best thing in the world. It works best if the glue's not completely hard dried on. If it's like just sort of dried and not totally been there a long time, but it still works if it's been there a long time. I bought this one on Amazon for about, I think it was about $4 on Amazon. And I mean, it's never going to wear out. I mean, this thing's going to last forever. I just love it. I haven't tried the one I saw on the Dollar Tree website. Yes, they do have a website, and you can order things, but they make you order large quantities of everything. But they do have these for, I don't know how much. Glue eraser. It is the best thing. I use a cheap plastic ruler every day, all day. I haven't bothered to turn it into a tearing ruler. I just, I tear things up. I lay this down and tear it, and it's messed up enough for me to be for anything. It's a cheap clear, and the thing is that it's clear. I can see through to where my paper is. I can see through and tell what I'm lining up with, and that is the best thing. And yep, I got this clear eraser at Dollar Tree. You have to have a corner punch if you're gonna be doing much journaling and building handmade books and things like that, and tags and all your ephemera that you make. I mean, I just love rounded corners. I don't like sharp edges. I don't like, pokey edges. The only thing in my life besides my husband that needs to be pokey, don't tell him I said this, but the only thing besides him that needs to be pokey is my pokey tool. And my pokey tool didn't make it into my absolutely can't live without it list. Because I have an ice breaker, ice breaker, what is the ice pick? I have an ice pick that has been in my kitchen junk drawer for, God, 65 years. I don't know, 60 years. It's been in my kitchen drawer, and in fact, I probably got it from out of my mother's kitchen drawer. That was probably the only one I've ever had. But it's an ice pick, and I've kept it around all these years, and an ice pick works just great. So, for a pokey tool, but a corner rounder, the one I have found, I have used several different ones, but the one that works best for me is this one by We Are Memory Keepers. It's got 3 different sizes, small, medium, and large. I mostly use this medium size, but it is just real convenient. And the only complaint I have about it is if your paper is real thin, it doesn't want to grab down on it and cut the corners good. But I use this every day, all day. Here's another, this is a favorite tool. Good old cereal box, especially like this one that's so big. I use these for making my journals, for the journal covers. And if I'm making a single journal cover, it's that size right there. It's a one signature journal with a rounded spine. This is exactly the right size right there. And if I'm making a large journal with a 2 1/4 inch spine, there's my spine right there. And all I have to do is cut it down this way to like 9 by 6. But I don't have to build a spine because I can just reinforce this one right here and then just cut off that one. So these big tall cereal boxes, great stuff. All right, this is my current and most beloved. I love this thing. This is wonderful. This is the Fiskars trimmer with the extended arm that extends out to 15 inches, a little bit more than 15 inches. And it's great. I love it because you can measure either way. It holds a 12 by 12 piece of paper. These little things here that go in for the cutters are easily, there's lots of different companies. You don't have to buy Fiskars. There's lots of different companies that make these little cutters to replace them, replacement cutters. But I've been through, I have one of those great big chomper, lift arm chomper paper cutters, old-fashioned type, that I used for many years, and I still have it. For cutting one piece of paper accurately, this is what you want. I bought this at Joann's when they had their scissors sale, and they had all their Fiskars cutting products, and this was over in the sewing department with their Fiskars scissors, and it was regularly priced about $38, and I got it for 40% off. So I paid, you know, about $22 for it, and it was worth every penny. And then I just gave away all the other little flimsy ones that I tried trying to be cheap. Anyway, this thing is great. I have 3 pairs of scissors that I keep at my desk. I can't tell you where I got these. They were made in China. They were not expensive at all. They're just stainless steel scissors that I bought a package at the hardware store. There was a package of about 6 or 7 scissors, so they're not cheap. But I mean, they were cheap, but they're only good for paper. They cut paper, and that's about it. For fabric, I bought myself a set on Amazon of these blue-handled scissors on Amazon. They're Fiskars brand titanium scissors, and these things are sharp. And anything you get that's Fiskars brand. This came in a package of 3 plus a little, it was in the sewing section. I bought them on sale at Joann's the same time I bought that last paper trimmer. And they were about, I think it was $9 is what I paid for 4 pair of scissors that were made by Fiskars. And they are sharp, sharp, sharp. And notice that I have this one labeled for fabric. I only cut fabric with it, so because paper will dull everything. The scissors right here are the Galadium brand. And they are my pinking shears, what we used to call them, or zigzag scissors. People use these to keep fabric from fraying on the edges, but you can also use it on paper for serrated edge scissors. These are marked for fabric. I have another pair that that I got from my mother that were her fabric scissors that she used for about 50 years, and I've got them now, and they've never been sharpened. And I've got them now, and they work for paper, but this happens to be the ones that I save for fabric, so they don't get dull. Okay, enough for the scissors. Now, gotta have paper if you're going to be making journals, and this is my favorite types of papers to have. Of course, you gotta have book pages, and my favorite book pages are from PG rated books. You got to watch out on these book pages if you're using novels, because you get some bad words or some bad advice on some of those pages. But my favorite is this Italian language book. It's a what do you call it? It's a learning to speak Italian book is what my favorite is. But And this is from Wonderful World of Women's Wear Daily. I have to really watch that to make sure I don't get something weird on it. I want PG rated, y'all. Of course, I love vintage music sheets. And I was an antique dealer for a lot of years. And I bought a big old box full of paper, vintage paper, that included about, a stack of sheet music, about, I don't know, 6-8 inches deep of sheet music. And I'm down now to about an inch's worth. But I love using this. You have to reinforce it to use it in your journals because it's old and it's brittle and it's falling apart. Same thing with these old book pages too. As far as new paper goes, I didn't bring it out, but I use a lot of cheap copy paper that you get at anywhere, Walmart, the office supply store, just whatever cheapest copy paper they have. But I am in love. I can't help it. I have a real problem about scrapbook paper. I just love the colors and the patterns and the, feel of it. I just can't stop buying scrapbook paper. I just love it. But I do like to use the cardstock, the heavier weight scrapbook paper for the outside page of my signatures. And it when you sew things in, it holds up better. The paper doesn't tear. It's easy. But I do use a lot of scrapbook paper. By the way, I have in my YouTube videos, I have a glues review for every glue that I found in my studio when I started making scrapbooks. Not scrapbooks, but junk journals about 2.5 years ago. I pulled out every glue that I had or something that could be used as glue in my studio, and I did a video on it, and it is way down the list from, just about 2 years ago, but it is my full review of all the different glues and what I use them for. And if you're interested in knowing more than you ever wanted to know about glue, that's the video for you. Okay. These are my 2 favorite punches. I don't have a lot of punches, but these are the ones that I use a lot because I like flowers in my journals, and I have a hard time finding really small elements to decorate the finishing touches on my collages and on the pages, and these have worked out where they are just the right thing. And I just punch them out of whatever scrapbook paper I happen to have on my desk and stack them up in all different sizes and top them off with a little flat-backed pearl and call them done. And I use these things on just about everything, and they're just the right touch for me since I'm such a flower child. Not only was I an antique dealer, and when you get to be almost 70, you're bound to have had a number of different careers in your life, even if it was just, working in a grocery store or where we're the President of the United States. You're bound to have multiple different careers over a lifetime. And let's face it, I am getting toward the last years of my lifetime. So these punches are my 2 favorite, and I use them all the time. One thing I just can't live without is distressed oxide ink. I love everything Tim Holtz. I just love all his stuff. And I do get it when I can find it on sale, all his ephemera and things I can get when I can find it on sale. But this distress oxide ink, I just love it. And these are the 2 applicators I use. This is a cheap makeup brush. I got, I think, 12 of them for $9.99 on Amazon. It's just a cheap makeup brush. This is real good if you're going over stencils. And this is the pouncer thing, and I use this most often. And these little tops are replaceable. And last but not least of my most favorite things, tools anyway, is stamps. I have quite a few stamps that I've accumulated over the years, but there's some that I just use all the time. And this set of 3 butterflies, 3 different butterflies, I use it all the time. It's so versatile, and you know, you can cut it out and and stamp it and color it, and you can stamp on fabric or paper or whatever you have, and you can color it with. And I did a video on how to make focal points, and I colored it with colored pencil on fabric, and it worked out great. But you can see that video if you want to know how to do focal points. But these were so easy, and they are so well made. And another thing, they've got the wood. I cannot stand those silicone stamps. These rubber ones hold up a lot better. They don't melt and stick together and turn into a blob. They're not cheaply made, so you get a better print when you stamp it. And plus, they're much easier for me to use with arthritis in my hands. And I know a lot of us started journaling during COVID lockdown, and that's when I started. And I just happened to have these, and I'm so glad that I have the wooden back ones. And I won't buy another silicone plastic stamp. That I just won't buy anymore because I don't ever use them. Okay, the other favorite thing is you guys. You guys, I wouldn't be making videos if it wasn't for you. I wouldn't be posting anything on Instagram or on Facebook if it wasn't for you. And the only reason I do it, since I don't sell stuff except for every once in a while, the reason I'm posting this stuff is because I have a need to share in the fun. Because to me, this is great fun. And I just love doing it, and I want to connect with other people who like doing it too. So please, there's nobody in my family or any of my friends who have any interest whatsoever in me making the journals and the arts and crafts and all that stuff I've been doing for the last 50 years. You know, there's no one I know that has any interest in what I'm doing, but you guys do. And if you will just leave me a comment, subscribe to YouTube, my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook at Rebecca Raisler, or on Instagram at Becky's Journals. I mean, it means the world to me because it's the only contact I have with other like-minded people. Although my husband is a real sweetheart and he's supportive, he doesn't really get it. You know, he doesn't. And you guys, knowing that there's other people who understand my obsession here really helps me. So please remember, like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day. And let me know what you think. What's your favorites? Bye-bye.